No, you should own your property free and clear. I think to say that someone that's been in their house for 35 years just has to keep ponying up money, that is not. You don't own your home if that's the case. So yes, of course, I'd like to see people be able to owe free and clear. And it's interesting because it's like if I go to Best Buy and buy a flat screen TV and put it on the wall, I got to pay a sales tax on it, right? But I don't keep paying tax on it every year. I mean, it's just not. That's not how we do things. It's like, okay, if you're going to tax something, you tax it at the transaction, and then let people actually enjoy their private property free and clear of the government. So that, I think, is the vision. That's the philosophical insight. And if you think about our founding fathers when they were proposing the Constitution, in one of the Federalist Papers, I think it was Hamilton, he's writing about, because, there was opposition to the Constitution. They were making a more...
Y'all like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, interact with the channel, man. We about to do a deep dive on Republican Governor Ron Desantis is advocating for tax cuts in Florida. Property tax cuts. He gonna get the votes. He definitely gonna get some votes with this one, man. We gonna run it back, start it at the top, and break it all the way down. Let's do it.
Level ongoing taxpayer.
No, you should own your property free and clear. I think to say that someone that's been in their house for 35 years just has to keep ponying up money, that is not. You don't own your home if that's the case. So yes, of course, I'd like to see people be able to owe free and clear. And it's interesting because it's like if I go to Best Buy and buy a flat screen TV and put it on the wall, I got to pay a sales tax on it, right? But I don't keep paying tax on it every year. I mean, it's just...
See, I agree with that 100%. It should be a flat rate. It shouldn't be. Nobody should be paying taxes on top of taxes. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy for you. Like, just imagine if you bought a computer or a TV or anything, and you just gotta keep paying. You don't own it at that point. You don't own it if you have to keep paying for it. Like, once you pay a car off and you don't have to pay the car note anymore, you own it. So yeah, I agree with Governor DeSantis 100% on this right here.
That's not how we do things. It's like, okay, if you're going to tax something, you tax it at the transaction, and then let people actually enjoy their private property free and clear of the government. So that, I think, is the vision. That's the philosophical insight. And if you think about our founding fathers when they were proposing the Constitution, in one of the Federalist Papers, I think it was Hamilton, he's writing about, because, there was opposition to the Constitution. They were making a more powerful federal government than under the Articles of Confederation, and people were worried about taxation. And they didn't have, obviously, a 16th Amendment, which eventually came on income tax, but basically you were not effectively allowed to do any direct taxation. It had to be indirect, meaning you couldn't just, you could theoretically just apply like a tax on land federally, but it'd have to be a portion among the states, so practically it could never work. So basically, Hamilton's saying, look, the indirect taxes are the most effective, efficient way to raise revenue for the government, because
if he runs for president on this right here after Trump, he got a good chance at winning. For sure. He'll definitely get my vote with this alone. I'm just saying. I agree 100%. In Florida, especially in Florida, man, it's a lot of damage that's being caused to houses, hurricanes, all kind of stuff going on in Florida, man. That's why Florida would definitely vote for him and put him back in there if he doesn't run for president. If he hasn't, I don't know how many years he's been governor or whatever, and I know governors probably have term limits, but yeah, this would definitely get the vote. This is the same stuff that Trump was talking about. This is part of the reason why everybody voted for Trump, for the tax cuts, man. Because taxes is too much. You know, we getting taxed to death, man. You getting taxed from your job, you getting taxed at the store, you getting taxed on your car, you getting taxed, just just tax. Everywhere you go, every way you turn, you getting taxed. And Democrats are the ones who push for taxes because they are stealing. Democrats are stealing taxpayers' money, and that's why Democrats believe in taxes. Y'all was voting for Kamala Harris, and she was going to tax y'all to death. We really saved y'all. We saved y'all for voting for Trump. Especially, and I think that's why a lot of I think that's why a lot of black women voted for Kamala Harris, because a lot of you bitches don't own nothing. Y'all don't know nothing about property taxes. And some of y'all who do own property still don't know nothing about property taxes. That's why a lot of y'all houses gonna get took from you. Because you don't know shit. You don't know shit. You don't own shit. Don't want to do shit. But we ain't gonna get into that conversation. We gonna stay on topic right here. And see what else Ron DeSantis got to say.
They basically allow the individual to choose how much tax they want to pay based on how much they're consuming. And there's a security, there's a protection against excessive tax in that regard, because if the government raises consumption tax too much, it kills the golden goose, because then it causes people to stop purchasing as much. But he said taxing property is one of the worst forms of taxation, because people don't have a choice in the matter, and you're just basically drilling these folks over and over again on tax. And so it's an issue that I think's pinched a lot of people, but philosophically it was not the way that that the federal government was constructed. Now I understand local, there was a history of it, and that's kind of been the norm. But man, I mean, you talk about family of four having the median home price that is purchased in Florida, that's a pretty hefty tax bill right there when you come in after buying a home. When you consider what the average income is throughout the United States of America, the math just doesn't add up, and I think that's why people want relief.
I agree with Governor DeSantis 100%, man. Cut them taxes. Taxes, we pay too much in taxes in America. We getting taxed to death, especially in places like Chicago, New York, LA, all these Democratic cities. These blue cities taxes are insane because a lot of Democrats are stealing. They stealing the taxpayers' money, and that's why y'all getting taxed to death like that. You see, Republicans don't care about taxes because they're not stealing taxpayers' money. They actually, put that money back into the community. That's why a lot of red cities and states are the best cities and states in America, like Texas. 40 is the best in Texas. Yeah, man, everybody want to come to Texas because we red. We handle our business. We not getting taxed to death. Now, there is some places. Some places are outrageous in Texas with taxes. But for the most part, Texas is a good place to live, man. We don't really pay that much in taxes in most places. But y'all like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know how y'all feel about this topic right here, man. Hit the link in the description. You want tattoos or piercings, you in Dallas, Texas, holla at your boy. If you want custom rugs, you in Dallas, or if you anywhere in America, we'll get it to your doorstep. Hit the link in the description. Don't be a lame. Like these folks out here voting blue no matter what, getting taxed out their brain.